There is a beautiful story about a young seeker who once approached a wise old man in search of enlightenment. The old man offered him a cup of tea and kept pouring until the tea spilled over. Startled, the seeker said, "Wise master, the cup is full." The old man gently replied, "Just like this cup, you must first empty yourself of assumptions, of fears, and the belief that you already know. Only then can true learning begin." Building on this beautiful story, I, Modita Kulshresh, your host, welcome you all to EIL Samvaad, where conversations meet connections, where every dialogue is an opportunity to empty our cups and open our minds to enlightenment and wisdom. Today, we have with us Shri Mainak Nandi, Executive Director at EIL, a leader whose journey is defined by purpose, resilience, and thoughtful leadership. I'm truly honored to dive into this conversation and uncover the wisdom and inspiration his story holds for all of us. Shri Mainak Nandi joined EIL in 1991 as a young, bright instrumentation engineer and went on to build a distinguished career spanning nearly 3 decades. Over the years, he has played a pivotal role in some of India's most critical energy infrastructure projects, including the Panipat Refinery, the Mangalore Refinery, Kochi Refinery, PNCP, IREP, Pata Petrochemical Complex, Dangote Refinery, HMEL Petchem, pipeline projects and offshore platforms, while also representing EIL's interest in international assignments in the United Arab Emirates and Algeria. His technical leadership extends to other domains as well, such as nuclear, defense, and many more. As an executive director leading the instrumentation, electrical, project engineering management, engineering support services, divisions, regional offices, and EIL's Abu Dhabi office, he has championed innovation, system integration, and safety excellence in complex project environments. With a superannuation slated for December 2025, he leaves behind an inspiring legacy of commitment, mentorship, and engineering excellence. So let us open our minds, empty our cups, and step into this inspiring conversation. Sir, welcome to EIL Samvaad. How do you feel in this moment?
Thanks, Modita. Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
I really feel honored to be part of this EIL Samvaad conversation. And as the day are coming, I never felt like leaving this big organization with ocean of learning, but still I have to give space for the others. So that is the spirit I'm keeping it and thinking of spending more time for my family.
So I'll make you reminisce a bit today. So if we go back to your early years, like in 1991 when you joined EIL, so what pulled you towards instrumentation engineering and especially towards EIL?
Well, Modita, if you really like to know, there is a background or story behind it.
And we are all ears to it.
And as I never wanted to become an engineer, my all aim during my childhood was to become a doctor till class 9. But in class 9, I started loving chemistry as well in addition to biology. So after passing out class 10, I decided to take PCM along with biology combination to keep my option open either as a doctor or as a chemistry with as a professor in chemistry. So, and I could convince my parents too, because most of the parents during that period would like to have their children take admission either in medical or in engineering. But since I did not get admission to a college of my own choice in medical, I took my admission in chemistry in Jadavpur University and completed the graduation in as chemistry honors. So while completing the chemistry honors, so next step was to decide the further action plan or further career plan. So I took admission in MSc immediately after passing out. But in the meantime, I got a scope for getting admission in chemical engineering, what is called as an applied chemistry in Calcutta University, and took admission there, where you might be knowing our ex-ED, Mr. Jayati Ghosh, was also
Yes.
studied from that college.
Yes.
While pursuing this BTech in chemical engineering from Calcutta University, actually instrumentation branch in there, in my time there used to be very few colleges where instrumentation branches were being studied, because most of the college like Jadavpur University and MIT Madras, they take this course is only applicable after graduation, not as a direct entry to
After
B.
12th,
After
okay.
12th. But though there are some colleges where there was a direct admission, but these two colleges specifically used to pursue this course after graduation. And you have to sit for an entrance exam. And normally the students from physics and mathematics backgrounds are being asked for taking admission in instrumentation branch. And myself being a chemistry honors background was never being allowed. But during that particular year, I do not know, Jadavpur University management took a call and they allowed to chemistry honors student also to sit for the exam. And one of my friend told, let us apply. So anyway, it is not being a very core engineering branch. So out of curiosity, I talked to my seniors in the college, what type of branch it is and what is this prospect. And when I came to know this is more related to automation and control, it really fascinated me, and I applied for the entrance test and got through it.
So
that's how my journey for instrumentation engineering started.
So they say man proposes, God disposes. So
Yeah.
there you were planning to become a doctor.
And
then
finally
professor.
eventually took admission in
Yes,
as an
you
engineer.
and EIL cross paths. Great,
okay.
sir. It's really nice to know that your entire story.
Yeah.
Even the other EDs that I have interviewed in the past, they also said they never wanted to be an engineer.
Yeah.
And fate is already pre-decided. That's all I can say.
But now I feel fully satisfied, and after taking this branch, and definitely as far as my entry to EIL is concerned, that is also an feedback, because that time there was no internet, so we were not much clear about the EIL's role in the market. So one of my senior was there in EIL, so we naturally asked them prior to calling for this campus interview, what is the EIL's role and how good this company is. So he told two things. EIL is the only premier and best consultancy firm in India, and second thing, it is a you can call it as a temple for instrumentation engineer. So I thought a little bit, because that time campus interview used to be an choice, and if you go for a big company, then next time you will not be allowed to sit for the other exams. So I applied for it, and I still remember that interview was held in between two preparatory day leave of our semester was going on, and the team from EIL Delhi, they came to EIL Calcutta office, and we went for campus interview, and in that year 5 of us got selected in EIL, and we were really very thrilled that time after knowing that EIL is the basically organization where you can, not as an instrumentation engineer, for any discipline, it is a area where you can become professionally very satisfied and learn. The temple, it is being a temple of learning, there is no dearth of scope in learning.
Core engineering company, a knowledge based company, I would say.
Exactly.
Yes. Sir, it is usually said that instrumentation and control systems, they operate behind the scenes and are also often regarded as the brain and nervous system of any project. So what is your take on this firstly? And secondly, in your entire tenure that you have served in EIL, how have you seen the instrumentation division evolve through the years?
Yes, you are right with respect to calling the instrumentation as a nervous system and backbone of a plant, but yet I should not call it as operating behind the skin. Rather, it creates an impact from the beginning of the project in the conceptual stage and continue till end of the project during commissioning until and unless the plant is getting stabilized. Of course, being in EIL for so many years and seeing all disciplines, performance and their enormous development and contribution for the growth of the company in the past 6 decades. I should not say instrumentation is the only area where I have been involved. I have tried to myself involve in all the aspect of other discipline also parallelly. While doing so, yes, the company has given me enough opportunity to learn, and that's the way the department has also grown leaps and bounds. See, if I briefly explain you about the instrumentation, then you will understand why it is very challenging for all of us, because instrumentation branch is basically electronics driven.
Okay.
So, which is ever changing, and each individual need to keep themselves abreast of the current development and incorporate the same in their design, and it changes sometimes within a year or within a 2 year, not that after 5 years, 6 years the concepts are getting changed.
Totally understand that.
So, but I can proudly say that my department has continuously kept themselves in pace with the technology development and adopted all the latest state of the art technologies while delivering their services, and moment those are available in the market, but after carrying out due diligences before accepting any new concept in the design, before offering to the end user. So, and I myself being seen all the development through my career, I also equally consider myself as a fortunate enough to see the changes and transitions of technology from early 80s to till now. I can briefly explain you what are the basic concept changes in the instrumentation. Instrumentation is basically a 2-wire system, we call it. So, initially it used to be a cumbersome pneumatic system. Of the controls it carried out through a air signal. Gradually it shifted to 4 to 20 milliampere signal, and then to smart with superimposed digital signal. And the next jump was the foundation field bus, and now it is going in the wireless technology. So, this is the development of the instrumentation technology. Of course, my entire department along with us have kept themselves involved in during this development through the executed project or through training, or there is a well generated standards database available in our company which has helped them to grow and learn wherever the new technologies are coming. So, that is why I always feel proud the department is, and the client are always looking for the such departments and their performance, because they always look for the new technology to come out from EIL. They expect that let EIL decide whether this technology needs to be adopted or not. And we got the team, we used to deliberate it, carrying the due diligence, and then go for accepting any particular technology.
So, given this such a fast paced development that is going around us, and the world is so competitive, the technologies are changing at such a fast way that you have to keep pace with it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think I should congratulate our EIL management also, because there are so much of trainings that are arranged, so that we can keep pace with the changing technologies.
Right. Absolutely correct. And I can also say that instrumentation department has not only restricted to adopting the latest technology in the market to offer to the end user, but at the same time our internal systems have been, there is a robust internal system, and digital transformation was happened in instrumentation long back rather than any other discipline, I can say, and we have become digital in various workflow in the work procedure to reduce their time and effort. Definitely it is a real achievement for the department for the last 10 years, I can say, 60 years.
So, it's great to know the development or the journey of Instrumentation Division in the past 30 years, especially in your tenure. So, thank you for sharing that, sir. Sir, there's another question that curiosity is killing me right now to ask you, that what is the first thing after a refinery is conceived that an instrumentation engineer is supposed to do?
See, any refinery is built with a basic document which you might be aware of, that is called PNID, Piping and Instrumentation Diagram. That itself will speak the involvement of instrumentation at the stage. And as an instrumentation engineer, you need to ensure that the right type of instruments are considered while designing the PNID, and the control systems are also in place to take care of these signals to the control room and managing the entire plant control. So that was always been an aim for an instrument engineer, select the right instrument from the beginning, from the field, and ensure its connectivity to the control room to get a better control.
So have you ever been working in any of the starting phase of any project, sir?
Yeah, in whatever projects you told in the beginning, almost all the project I was involved from the basic engineering stage till commissioning of the project. So we had seen the development, the knowledge enrichment and the database generation from day one to the commissioning of most of the plants.
So sir, have you seen any changes in the PNID making also in the past 30 years?
Definitely the PNID earlier used to be hand-drawn, then we started making in AutoCAD. Now we are using various smart tools like Smart PNID or Aviva PNID for generation of this PNID. So there is a sea change in the development and the time required to develop such PNIDs.
Okay, good to know that, sir. Coming to another question, sir. In your long journey with the company, where you have done such iconic projects like Panipat Refinery, MRPL, Kochi Refineries, you've also been part of pipeline projects?
Yeah, I started my career in the pipeline project, most like lot of HBJ pipeline upgradation. Then there are some pipeline in the south area of HPCL, GAIL. I was involved in pipeline project.
And also some offshore work along India's coastline. I think you've been part of that
offshore,
as well.
in initial days, I only got the opportunity for 2 offshore projects. One of them is the MNW platform and another is the wind platform.
So can you just elaborate that MNW
See,
platform?
MNW project, you might be knowing, it was a project which was association with L&T. We were the detail engineering contractor, and it was like an LSTK work of ONGC, and it was a real challenging task for all of us in EIL, because being a first offshore project in LSTK mode in association with L&T. They were the execution contractor and we were the design engineering contractor.
You were the design contractor and they were the
execution contractor. The construction part was all construction and fabrication was in L&T scope.
Okay, then I'm pretty sure you must have faced some challenges that you still remember about those projects. Would you like to share those with us?
Challenges in the sense, for me as a personal, that was my first offshore project. So I never had any idea about the offshore design specific, because there is a certain specific design is involved in offshore platform with respect to fire and gas, and the pneumatic loops are still existing in offshore, where in refinery petrochemical we do not find the pneumatic loop for the shutdown. So those are the areas I had to learn before entering into the engineering phase. So I took some time to understand it by referring the old projects, and with the guidance of my seniors, finally I was able to handle those challenges.
So at this very point, sir, I want to ask this question. How is the offshore work, instrumentation work, different from the onshore instrumentation work?
See, different in the sense, I can say, for example, FNG. In refinery petrochemical, the FNG for the field side used to be are taken care by our instrumentation department, whereas the building fire is taken care of by our electrical department. Whereas in offshore, the entire FNG is taken care by instrumentation department. That is one change. And being a coastal area with saline weather, so you need to select the instrument metallurgy with the special design. And of course, some of the areas are there where it is a different with respect to the tree in the violet tower and the violet platform. The design would not be typically found in the onshore area and their control system.
So do you remember, sir, any of the other anecdotes, maybe probably in other projects, the other projects that I've mentioned in this question, that left a left a mark or lasting impression on you?
Mudita, again I can repeat that I really consider myself fortunate enough to get associated with major project of EIL, and it has really helped me to grow as an individual and grow as a team in the department. And I started my first refinery as the MRPL phase 1, and just to say to you that I was involved in MRPL phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, all 3 projects, and grab the knowledge and apply it in future. So I got that opportunity to implement the entire logic. It was prepared by me with our team effort, and I was there along with my senior, that time Mrs. Priyangbada was there as my boss. So we both decided to check the entire logic in the night only. So we took the time that from 7 o'clock we'll start, in the evening we'll start the checking, and we used to continue till morning and carrying out the logic part of it, and then morning again we need to stop because that walkie-talkie would be used by the other contractor and other people in the normal plant of
It all sounds so thrilling to me, sir.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a really challenging, and it was as a team effort. Definitely our site team was there, MRPL was there, and we, myself and Priyanka ma'am were there from the design office.
And maybe that little difference makes you remember that memory till
Yes,
date.
exactly.
Really nice, sir. Thanks for sharing that. Sir, you have also had a chance to represent EIL internationally. To be precise, in the UAE, United Arab Emirates, and also in, I think, Algeria.
Yes, right.
So, how did you feel like the culture was different from here, and what were the challenges, both on the technical side as well as the cultural side?
See, as far as UAE is concerned, I had the opportunity to serve in that country twice. One during my starting of the career, and the past 2 years. So I will explain it in two different ways.
Sure, sir.
While I was an engineer, I went to UAE in the country, in the state of Sharjah, one of the Emirates, and I worked for Petrofac, and our role at that time, it was only a manpower supply to Petrofac for carrying out their instrumentation engineering work.
And this is about what time, which year?
It is around 97.
97, okay.
97, 98 rather. So it is in 98. And it was only manpower supply, so our role was restricted to help them in engineering activities, normal activities. Those activities were definitely normal as we are doing in India, but only being a private company, unlike EIL, their procurement methodology was slightly different, because instrument engineer needs to enter into the procurement from the very beginning of the project. That is one of the major role we need to play while procuring the various instruments. Means I can typically say in a refinery or any one unit, you will find some 7,000 to 8,000 instruments you need to buy. So procurement is one of the major activities we can say for the instrumentation engineer. So I was involved in the procurement of instrumentation for QGPC project, which was being executed by Petrofac. So in their procurement philosophy, they give you, to engineering itself, they give you both price as well as unpriced bid also.
Okay.
So it is your job to decide which vendor to take. See, I have been involved for the past 2 years in all proposals as well as the projects being executed from Abu Dhabi as an engineering in charge, taking care of the engineering aspect of all disciplines, reviewing them regularly. There is a difference what we see in India and by what we do in Abu Dhabi.
So, if you can please elaborate that, we would love to know this.
Yeah,
side.
that's what I can tell you. See, I had the opportunity to meet almost all clients of ADNOC, like ADNOC Gas, refining, offshore, and various other stakeholders in Abu Dhabi who have been giving projects to EIL, and EIL Abu Dhabi being executing a lot of projects. So we find there is the type of deliverable is quite different than what we do in India. I should not say the engineering aspect is different, engineering concept will remain same, but the quantum of deliverables they expect is much more than what we do in India during engineering phase itself, which typically in India most of the cases used to be taken care or still taken care by our construction team. So had it been a number in quite high, so you need to plan the sequencing of each activity, because it requires approval from client, and there is a 3-stage approval we call it, issued for design, then issued for approval, then issued for issued for review, issued for approval, and then finally it is issued for design. So there, unlike in India, each engineer needs to interact with their counterpart of the respective discipline to get the document through with their approval, which is also an equally challenging task for them. But over the years, our system has developed, and I can tell you firmly that with the help of our AD, Abu Dhabi office, CEOs and of our management, we have been able to put a good footprint in Abu Dhabi, and we got a high regards and reputations from the ad hoc team. So which we need to maintain now, because there are a lot of other jobs may come and are still coming to our EIL 40. And
ADNOC is a big player there
yeah,
in
big
UAE.
player, and we have been executing a lot of jobs,
yes,
and
of course.
we are expecting some more also.
Great, very nice. Sir, besides handling so many divisions that you just mentioned, specifically about the PM division, you are heading in the Abu Dhabi office also. You have also dived into the nuclear power sector. So, how is the normal conventional refinery work, petrochemical work as an instrumentation engineer different
nuclear
from
power,
this?
I can say I have not been involved to great details, but it was starting of my career when I joined as a management engineer and subsequently became engineer. I was involved in the nuclear power projects, but that time the scope of EIL was only design and engineering of the utilities, not on the reactor core area. So the type of instrumentation required for the utilities would not be different than what we do in typically in refinery, petrochemical or any other oil and gas industry. But definitely there is a specific test requirement which is different than our refinery and petrochemical, that is called seismic test. And this is more critical part of the nuclear power, because this poses a significant risk in the operation.
It needs to be blast resistant, it needs to be designed on
and
that.
all instruments, I think I am not telling only instrument, any structures, any component equipment needs to be designed for the sec stability. It is called a rigorous sec stability test, where the vibration is created and see the stability of the component. So that is the changes what we find in other industry than nuclear power industry.
Sir, there are two important achievements to your credit. You have chaired the EIL's Net Zero Committee, and sir, also you have steered the formulation of company's long-term decarbonization roadmap. So sir, what were your key considerations while doing this, while defining the pathway here, and what actions do you think are essential to sustain the transition over a period of time?
EIL has already committed to achieve net zero through phased manner by 35. So to achieve this target, we need to develop various strategies, and unlike any other organization or any other plant-based company, EIL main asset is our building and R&D complex. So the effort for net zero would be slightly different than what other organization will look for. So I can split it into two parts. One is the renewable energy part, second is the other aspect. So the main focus would be on the renewable energy part. More and more we go for using the green power, we would be more closer to achieving the net zero.
That is the need of the hour also.
So accordingly, we charted a roadmap of taking various measures, and various action plans were developed to implement net zero in the company. And the first and foremost is to go for solar power, because that is the best way to
harness the energy that is available to us in abundance.
And we studied the feasibility of putting SPV in the rooftop area, because that was the area allowed to be put with the SPV, with the design, having the structural design to be checked. So the rooftop solar power capacity was decided to be around 1422 for the entire all complexes of buildings of EIL, which is owned by EIL, right? I am not telling only Delhi, Gurgaon, Chennai, Bombay. So that was the total capacity which was possible to be implemented through solar power. And we can proudly say that till date, out of this 1422, we have already implemented 1292 kilowatt of power, solar power till 2024-25. The left balance is only 130 kilowatt is left, which is for this main building, because this is under the renovation contract and they are trying to implement it, and very soon this will also get implemented. So as far as solar power, we have almost achieved the target, whatever is possible for our rooftop area. Now once it is achieved, you cannot stop there, because we have to offset the balance portion of our power consumption through renewable. So we are thinking of going in different options like buying a renewable. Nowadays you can buy renewable energy, or you can go for an open access power purchase agreement, where the external party would be asked to set up a solar power farm for us,
yes.
and they can supply it to the grid, and in that way we can achieve our net zero. So that is under active consideration, and hopefully whenever that those things are getting implemented, we would be able to declare the complete scope 1 and scope 2 emissions with respect to renewable energy. As far as other measures are concerned, there are activities like you have seen our Miyawaki forest developed in Gurgaon. That is also one of the aim for it. Then the EVs charging stations is also an effort towards the net zero, and we are also planned to develop a demo based CBG plant of capacity 20 normal meter cube per day, and that plant for using the kitchen waste and the horticulture waste. And if the design and engineering is completed, it is under construction, right?
Yes.
It is going to be implemented very soon. Design part is over, engineering part is also over. Similarly, we have installed a demo based windmill of 600 watt in our Mumbai office. These are the other measures, and of course having a star rated HVAC system and reducing the paperwork are also one of the target we should aim for, reducing the net zero.
We are already doing that, sir.
Yes. So everybody is aware of that, and we are all synced with this. And there is one more aspect I should say, like building management system and HVAC control, better control, or also efficient energy management tool for achieving the net zero. That also we have already done completed in Gurgaon office, and it will be completed as part of EIB, as part of the renovation also. So these are the various measures I should say, and you will be glad to know that we need to declare our CO2 emission to ministry time to time, and as of now we have reduced our carbon footprint. I can give you typically the figure is like, for example, we started calculating it from 2022-23. So from 2022-23 to 23-24 it has reduced by 6%, and another 6.2% between 23-24 to 24-25.
Not
so
bad.
Now the initial time it was around, in 23-24 it was around 6912 metric million ton of carbon emission, which is now, it is, I should say 7916, which is now basically 6492.
Okay.
So that is the drop we have seen, and it will further drop once we go for the renewable energy procurement or open access.
I think, sir, EIL is working a lot towards achieving this net zero that we have declared for ourselves by 2035. And even the Gurgaon campus, the plant, waste,
So first phase we have planned to complete by 2030, and we have to reduce our electricity consumption also by 25%, that is what we have targeted, and another 10% by 35. But before achieving this, definitely we need to acquire the renewable energy or any other source, because we have already consumed our maximum capacity by
That's
installing
the first
solar
line
power.
of action that we've already started. Yeah. That's really commendable.
And in fact, for Gurgaon, if you may not be aware, we are basically sending back our surplus electricity to the board basically. On Sundays and weekdays for holidays, since the consumption is less, we are sending it back to the grid using a net meter.
Sir, EIL is often spoken about its strong sense of collaboration. So over the years that you've been associated with the EIL, I think everybody grows through it. So you feel that your leadership style has been influenced by EIL, or it's being built up by EIL? If you can please elaborate or throw some light about your leadership style.
The inclusiveness for tackling any issues and facing any challenges is the real forte for EIL, as you have told. And with an approachable seniors and management from all of us, the job becomes more simpler for all the employees to remain with a strong cohesion among the employees. And these two factors definitely help to grow anyone in EIL. And with harnessing the same benefit for the past 35 years, I have been able to develop my knowledge as well as contribute to the company with the help of my own mentors, gurus and teachers, whatever, seniors, whatever you call, and also with the untiring support from my juniors all through my project execution. So this is, and in turn I have tried to inculcate the same habit to my juniors to remain domain specific knowledge, increase their knowledge and provide them the scope for the leadership to develop the leadership quality. I always believe one thing, Mudita, when you should always try to find out the strength in an individual and give them the space and allow them to work in that area, definitely they will come out with a better prospect. And that is why I have been trying all through my career, and hopefully the time is now so far that instrumentation is always highly regarded in the company as well as in the industry, and they will develop further and grow exponentially with the able leadership of my next generation, next line of senior, and will remain the preferred choice for all end users.
Of course, sir, always. And I think EIL, in its true sense, has made us all learn what teamwork is all about, what team spirit is all about. So yes, we are highly indebted to EIL for inculcating in us all these
and
qualities.
While doing so, I also feel as you grow up in the company, you should not restrict yourself only to a particular domain. Go out of the domain and increase your knowledge in the other domain, then only become an individual and become a good leader of this.
So then what will you say for a young engineers or youngsters of EIL? Horizontal learning is important or vertical learning is more important?
Both is required. At certain time it shall be vertical, but gradually you have to have an horizontal learning if you want to go up in the ladder. And that is essential, because otherwise you will not have the control of any project. You see, moment you go up, you need to see the various aspects, administrative aspect as well as technical aspect. So you need to develop both the qualities, not only the technical acumen, you need to have the equal administrative capability to handle any end user, to handle any other division, and to take a fruitful decision.
So now, sir, on this note, I am on pins and needles to ask you this. You are serving as an ED and you are handling multiple divisions. So has the manager in you overpowered the engineer ever?
See, argument is part of the life, so we should not call it as an overpower. By discussion and argument, it generates an inquisitiveness for individual to put their best effort, and I always admire that. There is nothing wrong in having the argument between the team members, but ultimately it should come out with a fruitful decision. That is what we should as a team look into it.
Great, sir. How wonderfully you've answered that questions. And now, sir, coming to digital part. Sir, the times have changed. It's a world of AI and everything is available at the jot of a single button. So, and everything has been digitized also. So, you were very closely involved in advancing EIL's digital project execution. So, how do you believe this digital shift has improved the overall efficiency of projects, visibility and control in any project delivery?
See, EIL has already well developed, structured software program developed by our ITS and DTS team for data transfer between the various discipline as well as directorate. But you might be knowing, and we all know, that there is no end to a digitalization in a company, and it is ever increasing with the advent of AI and ML. So we need to remain sync with the market, and we need to gauge the market demand, and accordingly we need to carry out the due diligence for the aspect on the digital which we have been doing for long and still continuing to do that. And for example, the smart integration, that is one of the area aspect while getting some recent projects, petrochemical and the big mega project. We could feel that it is the need of the hour for developing a smart integration tools for data transfer between the disciplines smoothly. It will avoid your duality of data entry, and it will help you in generating the deliverable faster. So your aim should be to reduce effort, increase error-free generation, and at the same time you get satisfied by remain sync with the market also. And client will also look, every client nowadays look for that digital integration is important. So myself, being in instrumentation department, I have been seeing the various digital platforms we have developed internally, and that has really given me a thought process to do it over the engineering divisions. That is how we started interacting with all engineering divisions, of course with the guidance from our seniors and management, and we have been able to implement some of them, and some are still on the development phase, and that will get closed very soon.
I think, sir, digitization has bring in and saved in a lot of rework.
Yeah, exactly. It
There is
reduces
a very
the rework.
strong repository that now we have built. So rework, redesign, re-engineering, all these terms have started, being very common
So
nowadays.
that is another aspect I wanted to share, that EIL is a knowledge house.
Knowledge-based company, yes.
And we have a huge number of database, and maintaining this database digitally and making it available to all our youngsters is our prime responsibility.
Yes, of course, sir.
And that effort should be there from all department, all discipline, from all people in the company.
And everybody's
and
active
we have been
participation is
successful in
required.
doing this repository, but there are a lot needs to be done, which I think there is a scope for further addition into this database also.
So making this is also, I think, saving on our man hours. So that way is considering that finance is the blood of an organization. If we are saving on time, we are saving on money, because time is money. So yeah,
So
it's a
that is
vicious
what I always
circle.
tell my people, you should also understand the finance parameters, how
Yes.
we are calculating the finance parameter, then we'll understand the importance of saving the time in that project.
Related to this, sir, you feel that the digitization has anyways changed the project management style for us?
Yeah, because nowadays you might be aware that there is one program developed by our DTS team, the Project View software, which gives you the you can do the detailed analysis of any project, and when just by seeing the dashboard you will be able to know the various activities which are pending, various activities where you need some action, various activities where you need to be flared up, means need to be projected to the end user or to be taken up with the management. So all these details are available in that dashboard, and it helps you to take faster decision for the next course of action. So it is definitely going very helpful for all of us. It is not only project, it is helpful for engineering because the access is given to all HODs. So definitely they get to know their department performance for each project individually, and take action within the team as well as in the company as a global.
Great, sir. So now that you're superannuating, you're ending this innings with EIL and you are going ahead with another innings of your life, I will really request you to share your, heartfelt emotions and maybe some teachings, some learnings for our youngsters that you want them to inculcate in their life, to take care in their life, and that will help them build a very beautiful career and help them grow as a human being as well.
See, currently EIL has the outstanding order book of all-time high order book.
Touch wood.
Under the able leadership of our respected senior man and the directors on board. So this is the best opportunity for an individual or as a team also to grab this opportunity by involving fully themselves in the project, sharpen their domain knowledge by having a disciplined approach, and at the same time to ensure that you give an effort levels, I should say it is a reflect your accuracy in performance consistently, and at the same time develop your technical as well as leadership quality, which is all expected by all of us. So that is the message I would like to carry, and as I already told earlier also, I would also repeat the same. You do not restrict yourself in the domain. As you grow up, go beyond the domain and use the habit of learning through the other disciplines, and put your shoes in their, your leg in their shoes, and try to understand what difficulty they face and try to resolve that from your side also. That will give you more comfort, and that is what I have been trying to my team members in PM to grow further and develop themselves as an individual.
And they also say, sir, continuous learning keeps you young. So who doesn't want to keep young?
Yes.
So
because every interaction in a company, I find there is a scope for learning.
Of course, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for giving us your time from your otherwise very busy schedule. And I can totally understand you all sort of, your packed up schedule because you're just wrapping up your innings over here.
Yeah, right.
So thank you for your time, sir. As I wrap up this conversation, I'm just reminded that wisdom isn't found in answers. It's found in the journeys of people who lead with purpose. We truly appreciate the time and perspective you have shared with us. Your leadership journey offers invaluable lessons for all of us to stay with us for a lifetime. I wish you all the very best on behalf of the entire EIL team, and may you have a very healthy and very happy life ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank
sir.
you. Wish EIL a very good, bright future for all the year to come, and all individuals to grow accordingly.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for listening. Stay with us as we continue to bring you ideas, experiences, and voices shaping India's engineering excellence, right here on EIL Samvaad. And if this episode added any value, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to us.